All right, so lastly, let's just step through the call stack, visualizing what actually happens with the Chrome debugger. So I have a simpler array with 6 elements in it, and all that we're going to do is execute it. So I put my breakpoint, command enter, and I'm going to step through it. So first up, at the beginning, this is our array. Left is 0, 5, or right is 5. It's the last index. That makes sense. So now we're going to, because left is less than right, we're going to call pivot from 0 to 5 on that array. So we go up to pivot, and at the end, I fast forwarded, we get to swap index is 2, which is returned, and the array now looks like this, where 4 is at index of 2, and 2 and 1 are to the left of it, and 6, 9, and 5 are to the right of it. So we return that. Then we get to this line. So we have pivot index is now 2, we just calculated that, and the array looks different. And now we're going to do quicksort of this array, but from the left until pivot index minus 1. So if you watch the call stack, there's a new call of quicksort on top of it, but left is 0 and right is 1. So now we're looking at these two items. And so we do the same thing, we find the pivot index is 1, so we return 1, and then we move on, and there's a new quicksort that's been added. This time we're going from 0 to 0 of this array, which now left is not less than right. So what does that mean? It means that we return the array. So now this is the array that gets returned back to the previous quicksort, which was waiting for this side, the right side. So now the array looks like this, 1, 2, and 4. The left side is sorted. So this quicksort is now waiting to do the right side. So pivot index is 1. So this quicksort is the second part. It's the right side. So when we did these two elements, we did the left, and now we do the right. But the thing is that there is no right, because right is less than left. So all that is returned is the array again. As you'll see, it's unchanged, 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 5. We go back to an earlier quicksort that was waiting. And this time, here we go. And now we're sorting the right half. So pivot index is 2, which is right here. And we're going to call sort the array from that pivot index plus 1, so meaning index of 3, up until this, the end. So here we go, we call it. And you can see that now, this time around, left is 3 and right is 5. So now we find a new pivot. We find that the pivot index is 4. This is what the array looks like now. So we found that 6 was our pivot. We put 5 to the left, 9 is on the right. We return the value of 4. So back here, we now have a new pivot index of 4. And we're going to take that index, and now we're going to call quicksort on the left side, which is really, if you look, it's from 3, which is the left, until our index was 4 minus 1, so 3 to 3, as you can see here. And what does that mean? Well, left is less than right. Notice the new quicksort on the stack. Left is less than right, so we are going to return that array as it is. And then we get to our next one, quicksort on the right side, which also is going to be sorted, because you'll see that left is 5, right is 5. That means that we need to just return the array, which is what we do. And that takes us back to the next quicksort, which is waiting to return array, which now has been updated. So we've returned array, and then we're on our final, this is the original call, where now we have both sides have finished, left and right, and we're finally going to return array. And here's the return value, and there we go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. Congratulations on not quitting this video early if you made it through. It's a lot, but that's the basics of quicksort.